Trump's ban on new research grants for Harvard University, a critical political decision, and its potential drawbacks. Since Donald Trump assumed the presidency in 2016, he has consistently been in the spotlight due to his unconventional and controversial policies. Recently, he made a significant move by imposing a ban on new research grants for Harvard University. This decision is not only a challenge for educational institutions, but also has the potential to impact the future of U.S. educational policies and their global standing. This decision comes from a government that has been cautious about its relationships with educational institutions, particularly those that are globally recognized for their research and academic standards. Imposing such a ban on an institution like Harvard raises questions about the U.S. government's approach to education and research. The ripple effects of this policy could lead to a significant blow to the global perception of American educational standards. Reasons behind the ban and its political purpose. Trump's move appears to be part of a broader policy aimed at limiting foreign influence, particularly from China and other global powers that may have stakes in U.S. research projects. It suggests that Trump believes these academic institutions are using research funding to further their own political or economic interests, rather than focusing on the advancement of knowledge. The imposition of these bans could be viewed as an effort to protect the country's sovereignty and ensure that government policies are not undermined by external actors. Potential drawbacks of this decision. If these bans persist, they could have long-lasting consequences for U.S. research and educational institutions. 1. Curbed research freedom. These restrictions could limit the academic freedom that institutions like Harvard enjoy, preventing them from freely pursuing research without political interference. If government involvement increases, universities and research institutions may be forced to align their work with political agendas, undermining the quality and innovation of research. 2. Negative impact on international relations. Major global academic institutions such as Harvard are deeply integrated into international research collaborations. By imposing these bans, the U.S. government risks souring relations with foreign researchers and universities. Foreign researchers and students may find it difficult to work or study in the U.S., leading to a decrease in international cooperation and a decline in the global standing of American educational institutions. 3. Loss of institutional autonomy. The imposition of such restrictions could threaten the autonomy of U.S. universities. If institutions are forced to comply with government policies or restrict certain types of research, they could lose their independence. This could lead to a situation where academic institutions are no longer free to operate outside the influence of political agendas, compromising the integrity of their research. 4th, economic consequences. Harvard and similar institutions are not only centers of education, but also drivers of innovation and economic development. If they lose access to research grants, it could stall the progress of important research projects. This could have far-reaching consequences for U.S. industries and the economy as a whole, particularly in fields like technology, healthcare, and environmental science. What could happen if this situation continues? If such policies continue in the future, they could have several long-term effects on the U.S. education system. 1. Weakened global standing of U.S. universities. with foreign students and researchers potentially avoiding U.S. institutions due to restrictions, the global reputation of American universities could suffer. This would undermine the US's role as a leader in higher education, affecting the quality of research and innovation coming out of the country. Second, stalled research progress. If U.S. universities are sidelined from global research initiatives, the pace of scientific and technological advancements in the U.S. could slow down. This would have a detrimental effect on the nation's ability to maintain its leadership in research and development, potentially causing it to fall behind other countries in key areas like science, technology, and medicine. 3. Increased political and educational division. As tensions rise between educational institutions and the government, the divide between political ideologies in the U.S. could deepen. This could exacerbate the already existing polarization in the country, affecting not only educational policies, but also broader societal issues. Educational institutions might become battlegrounds for political influence, further complicating the national discourse. Conclusion: Trump's decision to impose a ban on new research grants for Harvard University is a significant move that could reshape U.S. educational policies. This policy, if it persists, has the potential to curtail academic freedom, harm international relations, and damage the global standing of American universities. The long-term consequences could be severe, affecting not just research and education, but the overall economic and political landscape of the United States. If this trend continues, the U.S. may lose its status as a global leader in research, innovation, and higher education, with profound implications for its future.